Hey everybody, it's Todd Vocal here for your Friday WAD, I've just got a couple things on my mind that I want to speak with you about. Just getting back from Success School this past weekend is always an amazing thing, and it's just great to see everybody, all the people that we talk with, and all the people that we see and connect with, the people that you meet, that you see on Facebook, that we're always hearing on the phone, on the team calls, and all the different webinars that we listen to, and then finally putting a face to their names is absolutely an amazing experience, especially when you learn that you have people on your team that are from your hometown. So a big shout out to my Michigan friends that I got to meet this past weekend in Success School. That was awesome to talk about, and just know that you just get connected, and it truly is a small world. Um, but what I want to hit on is just a couple things. We've been to success school a few times now, and every time we go in, we know what we're getting into. We know what's going to be happening, but you absolutely never know what you're going to get out of it, because it is just an amazing event, and it touches you and it hits you in so many different ways. We've been an advocate for 2.5 years, and we've gone to Success School every single time, and we've gotten so many different experiences out of every single time. But one thing that it was abundantly clear to me personally, and I'm not sure if this will help or affect anybody else, but as we were leaving Success School on Sunday, it's always a sad thing, always sad to know that we won't be seeing a lot of our friends for a while. But as we left AT&T Stadium, you're in a group of 25,000 people that are all advocate minded people and just pumped up and excited. I can feel like I can talk to everybody and anybody about anything. And then as you leave the AT&T Stadium, then you get to the airport, and then there's still some advocate people getting on the plane, just beaming with so much stuff. Heads are exploding, things are just going crazy. You just don't know which way to look, which way to think, which way to, you know, where you need to go next. You get on the plane, you just start thinking about it. You're still seeing some of the advocate people with their shirts on. And then when we flew into Atlanta, what became abundantly clear to me is, as I was going step by step, all the advocate people started dissipating. So what was happening in my mind is I was in a very good comfort zone when we all were like-minded advocate people. And as we got to Atlanta, in the Atlanta airport, all of a sudden I was back into my uncomfortable zone of, okay, now it's back to reality. Now we've learned all this stuff. We were explained, we were spoken to by so many people and touched us in so many different ways. Now it's our turn to go out into the world and talk about and tell people about this opportunity that Advocare has given us, to these people that don't know about Advocare. And when I'm standing in the Atlanta airport, world's busiest airport, I just see all these people that just have no idea what Advocare is about. And then I realize this is when it's game time. It's go time to start introducing and start interrupting people's lives with Advocare. So the reality set in really quick when we got back to it, and then the rest of this week, you get back into your personal comfort zone where you live, your neighborhood, all that good stuff, and then you either make a choice of either get back into what you were doing, or you can get back into what you've learned, what you were poured into, and start making Advocare work for you, helping it do what you want to do. So a couple things that I've got written down that I like to focus on, and it's kind of, there are so many different things, as we know from Success School, that blew our minds, and each of us are in different states of mind, different places in our life. So a lot of these things, a lot of these people's stories hit us in a different way. Um, but one of the things that I want to talk about that's written on here is, the one thing is, a quote that got me is, average people compare themselves to other average people. Extraordinary people compare themselves with people they want to be. So we are all, the world is filled with average people, just living the average life, working the average job, doing the average thing. But that's not what we are. That's not who we are. We are the extraordinary people that are going to compare themselves to the people that we want to be. Who is it? Who is the person that you want to become? Who are the leaders in your area that you want to be like? Reach out to them, okay? Call them up, continually call them up. Just ask them, talk to them. Just, not necessarily about Advocare, just about life in general. Because as we know, this isn't about Advocare. This is about being a leader, being a champion, and a champion in life. And reaching out to those people, as that's how you become a champion in life. And that allows you to be that extraordinary person. And the last thing that I want to talk about is another quote that, continually is something that I work on, that I strive on. And it's actually been something that I've been able to get better at. And this is what affects me. It says, let your biggest weaknesses become your biggest strengths. So what I encourage you to do, is to think about what your biggest weaknesses are. Write them down. Write down what your biggest weaknesses are. Turn it into your biggest strengths. Your biggest strengths, okay? You're already strong at them. You don't just sit back and rely on your strengths. Yes, you need them, and you continually use whatever your strengths are. If you're good at calling people and communicating, you keep doing that. But figure out what your biggest weakness is that is holding you back from your Advocare journey and from allowing you to touch other people's lives. Write down what your biggest weakness is, and make that list, just like the list that we know how to make. Make the list of your biggest weaknesses and pick one and focus on it and work on it daily. Work on it daily till it becomes a strength. That's what it's all about. That's how we become leaders, and that's how we get better in this. That's how we become champions through and through. So those are just a couple things. Now I've got a whole list, as which most people that were at Success School have a list and list. Go back and read through it. Continue to read through your notes that you have. That is something that you should do all the time, because something is going to jump out at you each time that you go through that list, whether it's today or whether it's in 2 months. Okay, something that you wrote down will jump at you. It's just maybe not the time. It's not the time for you that's going to affect you right now. So yeah, pick those 1 or 2 things. Like I said, the couple things that I've focused on right now is my biggest weaknesses. I'm going to make those my strengths. That's what's going to make me better as a person, which in turn is going to help and bring value to somebody else's life. So that's what I have for Friday. I hope you have a great weekend. And, for those of you that were at Success School, I don't know why it's so hard for me to say, but I'm glad I got to meet most of you. I know there's some people I didn't get to meet. It's craziness, but and I hope those that you didn't make it to Success School, that you can go to the Advonation 2015. We'll be the one in Atlanta, and we're looking at one of the ones in Texas. So hopefully we can see some of y'all there, and have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.